empowered to prosper.
Fox News alert, the House, of course, voted to repeal the health care reform bill. You saw that action yesterday. Now, this morning, we are waiting for something else, a specific part of what the Republican leaders are going to be introducing out there. And this morning, it is going to be coming from the pro-life caucus. They will introduce a bill that would prevent taxpayer funding for abortions as a result of health care reform. And that's going to happen moments from now. We'll take you there live as that Congressional Pro-Life Caucus speaks out about that proposal. And in the meantime, we want to bring in South Dakota Republican Congresswoman Kristi Noem joins me now. It is good to have you with us this morning, Congresswoman. Welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me, Martha. I appreciate it.
You know, talk to me a little bit about you. Obviously, are one of the new women on the scene there in Congress, and we have this huge reform bill that passed yesterday. A lot of folks at the White House said, you know, this is not serious. This isn't. This is more of a political scam. Some others said on the other side of the House. How do you view it?
Well, I view this repeal bill as something that was extremely important to the American people, and especially to the people back in South Dakota. So it wasn't symbolic at all. It was exactly what they asked us to do in this last election cycle, and the House followed through. We did what the people wanted, and now we'll see if the Senate and the President will.
Yeah, and that's the big question. The Senate, you know, Harry Reid has said he's not going to take this up. What are you hearing on the other side of that building?
Well, I think that's extremely unfortunate, you know, and I think that they'll need to consider that as they go forward, because this is clearly the wishes of the people in this country. It does nothing to improve health care. It puts the government between people and their doctors, you know, and we absolutely need to make sure that we stop this bill from hindering the creation of jobs, because people want to get back to work.
Yeah, as we mentioned, at 10:15, we're going to hear from the Pro-Life Caucus. And if you look, sort of take yourself back to those days when there was so much tension on Capitol Hill over the signing of this, and Bart Stupak was one of the holdouts. He said, I will not sign any bill under which there could be funding that might be used, public funding that might be funneled towards abortions. He said he couldn't in good conscience do it. At the last minute, the president signed an executive order saying that that wouldn't happen. And a lot of people wonder, you know, where that went from there. And now it's going to be front and center once again.
Yeah, it certainly is. I know that this pro-life coalition and caucus is going to be bringing this bill forward. I think it's a good bill. You know, I'm obviously pro-life, and we'll have that type of a voting record out here in Washington, D.C. But I think it's a good discussion to have, because many people across this country don't think that federal funds should be used to fund abortions.
Yeah. You know, when you look at some of the polls, there's some indications that across America this issue has cooled off a little bit. That some people, you know, sort of find the bill more acceptable, and Republicans are clearly trying to keep people fired up about this, but a lot of the ramifications of it won't be felt for some time. So, you know, how do you plan, how do you expect to sort of keep people's attention on this issue?
Well, you know, I really think that, number one, people right now, this has gotten personal, this economy. They're really worried about jobs and feeding their families. So we need to focus on getting our country back on track economically, making sure that small businesses have the opportunities to go out there and create jobs and put people back to work, and then cut our spending. So while we have many important issues out here and many things such as this that are coming forward that need to be discussed, we absolutely need to make sure that we're making fiscal decisions that put us back on the right track as well.
All right, Kristi Noem, we'll be following this all throughout, as I know you will too, as a participant in all the action on Capitol Hill. It's good to have you with us this morning. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
Martha, while you were talking, we were getting a look at this.